Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your weekly reading for June 10th to June 16, 2019. This reading is going to be for all the Taurus in their Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter sign placements. Taurus, I already shuffled your cards and laid out your spread. So we're going to get into your reading, Taurus, and I hope you're all doing great. And from the looks of this spread, I say that you are, Taurus. I am feeling this energy for you. So, Taurus, let's see what you got happening. Now, Taurus, your overall energy for the week ahead is you have two cards that came out. You have knowledge, study, learning, education. This is your overall energy. Knowledge, study, learning, education. You also have anti-hero, maverick, risk taker, rule breaker. This is your overall energy, Taurus. Okay? Clarifying these energies is you have three cards that came out. You have the key, the bear, and you have the woman. Yes. So, what's around these clarifiers is you have the whip. So, what I'm seeing here, Taurus, for you is that I feel, Taurus, for many of you, with knowledge here in the anti-hero is your overall energy for the week ahead, and you having these clarifiers, I feel that you are gaining more knowledge and wisdom. You are learning how to be a risk taker, how to be a rule breaker. You're learning how to come against the challenges and issues that, and the repetitive patterns of bullshit that you've been facing in your life, in your circumstances, whether they are in relationships or just how you have gone about doing things. I feel this is about how you've been going about doing things, how you show up to situations that you are confronted with, or people that you're confronted with, where you have experienced pain or disputes or found yourself on the short end of the stick with shit, dealing with people. And I feel that, especially as it has to do with relationships, you may have found yourself in repetitive patterns, but repetitive patterns that have found you hurting or wanting or lacking or ass out or fucked over, if you will. Because with the key here, this is you finding the answer, gaining more security and self-confidence with yourself, operating more in your own self-power, your own personal power. And in doing so, having solutions that work for you and seeing positive outcomes with that key, and realizing that you are the key through you being able to show up for yourself and institute actions and behaviors that allow you to break the chains of repetitive patterns that you may have experienced with others or in your circumstances that have left you deceived or left you just messed up as a result, or damaged. And with the bear here, I feel this is not only um, examples of disputes that have shown up, or examples of perhaps an individual that has had a very strong presence, or this is the bear. I feel is twofold. It's like a person or situation that when it shows up, or when they show up, they have a very or you've given them a lot of authority or strength or control when it comes to you, and and where, you know, they have been able to um, have their agenda with you, but their agenda leaves you ass out, left you fucked over, left you screwed, or, you know, left you to pick up the pieces. But on the other hand, with the bear, I feel this is you in the face of that person or that circumstance or situation that you may have shown up, you know, week before, or, you know, always instituting a certain behavior action that didn't leave you empowered. Now you're taking your power back. You're being empowered. You're taking authority. You're taking control. You're being strong in the situation, and you're saying, no, I'm doing it like this. You're taking a risk. You're breaking whatever standard that you were going by that wasn't working for you, Taurus. And as a result, you're seeing solutions, you are seeing positive outcomes, you are creating a new answer that is an answer that you're satisfied with for a change. And so you cracking that whip this time, Taurus. And so I feel that with the woman here, this is either you, Taurus, doing this, or you are dealing with a woman where you are now learning how to deal with this woman, learning how to crack the whip and change your behavior, your attitude, and come up with a new approach, or you just changing your style of how you've done things or went about things, and you're doing things in a way that is allowing you to see positive outcomes that are for you, that allowing you to gain more authority and control in your circumstances. Now this can have something to do with money. You may be working on your money and finances and getting that more under control, whereas before, um, your money and finances may have been strained, may have been, you know, you may have been experiencing a problem with your money and finances, restrictions, constraints, but you're now starting to work on coming up with solutions where you're being more knowledgeable, and perhaps you're not taking as many risks, or you're learning how to come up with a better way of managing your money that allows you to not be a part of any destructive patterns that you may have been experiencing before, and so your money and money circumstances are improving. But either way, Taurus, whatever you got going on here, whether this is a relationship, a particular situation, or to do with work or a particular person, I feel as it has to do with a woman, this is either you, the woman, or you are dealing with a woman. This is a time where you are learning, or you have now grasped the understanding from you doing your inner work, and you are now stepping out on faith and optimism and trusting and believing in yourself, and you are taking responsibility, and you're saying, no more, I'm not having the whip cracked on my ass no more. You're not going to tell me how this is going to go and I just have to do it, or it's just going to have to be however you say. I have a say in how things are going to happen for me when we're involved, and this is how it's going to go now, and you're actually doing it, and you're seeing it, and you're like, oh shit, that's happened. And so as a result, you're being seen as the anti-hero, somebody that's not going with the program any fucking more. And guess what? So good for you. Good for you. So let's get into this, Taurus. Now, Taurus, the overall energy surrounding you that is your focus is you do have the Ace of Swords. So your focus is having clarity, is you standing in your truth. This is you even communicating your truth. This is even you perhaps engaging in communication. But this is you focusing on you having your own breakthroughs, clearing the cloud of bullshit, that may have been going on in your mind that has kept you in a state where you've been experiencing the whip being cracked on your back and on your ass, where you been being the one being punished and finding yourself always on the fucked up end in the situation. And you're cutting that out now. You're saying the end of that shit. No more. You have gained an epiphany or a truth or understanding. But this is because you have worked on gaining more knowledge, gaining more truth, gaining more understanding, getting stronger in your own personal power, strengthening your emotions, your resilience, your courage, and realizing that, if something's unreasonable, you have the right for, what you want to see happen, especially if it's involving you, to see more of that to happen, especially when you trying to have the right thing happen with this truth. And you have the right to stand in your truth, and you are learning how to do that now. You're clearing out the clouds of the bullshit in your mind and what other people had in their mind about you as well. Because see, with these birds here, you're gaining wisdom, okay? And you figuring out how to fly above all the drama. You're either figuring out how to communicate more effectively, or you are processing things in a different way of thinking, but it's like a new perspective you have here now. And so it's like you're being more clever. Now, to clarify this Ace of Swords, you had two cards that came out, Taurus. I'm so proud of you, Taurus. Oops, look at this. Yeah, everybody's shit falling apart. But Tauruses. Yes. Look at that, Taurus. So, you have two cards that fell out, Taurus, with that's clarifying this Ace of Swords. And so, you have the Ten of Pentacles and you have the Eight of Pentacles, which is the Minotaur and the Zombie. Both are earth energies here. Okay? And so, what I see here is that this is you finding restoration. This is you being able to build now after having had to work really hard and work through all this bullshit. Because look at this Eight of Pentacles. You have been working really hard to build, to get things done, perhaps with other people, and look at this. This is like you were just walking through life and like a zombie where shit was just not working out for you because you were lacking the clarity, because you weren't standing in your own truth with this Ace of Swords. You were lacking clarity. This was probably in the reverse with this Eight of Pentacles. So what you were working on, you weren't getting anywhere. You weren't able to build, okay? You needed to do a lot of work with this Eight of Pentacles. And there was so much that you had to go through. This may have been you needing to work on your past, your childhood, your past relationships, your belief systems, whatever you had to deal with to get past all this bullshit. Because there's a cemetery. There's a lot of shit you had buried in the way that you viewed yourself or viewed life or thought about things that just left you like a zombie to your experience. And so this is how you were being treated. And this shit is crazy. But guess what? Guess what, Taurus? No more. No more. Not for Taurus. Because look, you are now fucking Minotaur. Look at that shit. Look how strong you done got. You found your way out of this maze in your mind, in your circumstances, how you viewed yourself, how you were treated, what your experiences were, however difficult. You got through this maze, and this maze of bullshit that you had to work through made you this strong. Look at this. And it brings me to this red. You had to survive all of this shit. You had to survive all of this shit in the meantime, okay? And this was you having to work on building your own self-worth, building your own security. This was you having to get past all of your anxieties and get more grounded in your circumstances and within you. And look at you now. Look at you now. Look at you now. Okay? Look how strong you are. And so, of course, when you get here after being here, this is like Look at this was like your training. Now, yeah, nobody want to go to a fucking camp like this, but just imagine if you can survive this camp. Of course, you're gonna turn out to be like this fucking minotaur right here. Look at this. Who gonna beat your ass now? Who gonna fuck you over now? You can't even allow that for yourself. You can't even do yourself like this, right? And so you have this Ace of Swords. Yes, wisdom, knowledge, truth, understanding, breakthroughs, cutting away what no longer serves you, and learning how to do that because you going through all that shit. You had no choice but to gain knowledge here, but to learn, but to study, okay, and figure this shit out. Look at that. And so the reason why all of this has happened is you got this Two of Wands. This here is you had to get the key. You had to get the answers. You had to get your power back. You had to know that there were solutions. You had to know that you were capable of having positive outcomes. You had to know that had you had to gain your personal power back. And so this was you needing to plan. This was you needed to make decisions. And with every decision, you had to work towards building yourself up to the point where you got to a place of dominion, where you were able to have your world in your hands, to have more control over your life, over your circumstances, or at least recognize that you can have more control over your life and what happens in it and what can be done here. So this is you with the Two of Wands making decisions, making plans, taking action on your decisions and moving forward and having dominion and seeing progress. Okay? Moving forward in your plans and realizing that you are the key. You are the key. I'm seeing red here. This is the root chakra. This is about your safety, your security, your survival. I'm seeing green here. This is your heart chakra. This is you focusing on your self-love. This is you having empathy for yourself, compassion for yourself. This is you learning how to love you and have your own fucking back. And with this gold looking color here, this is kind of the yellow, the solar plexus. This is about you focusing on your personal power, your inner strength, your will, and focusing on your own self-esteem and building that up. And by you doing that, you're learning how to take dominion with this Two of Wands and making decisions, taking control and making decisions and acting on those decisions, Taurus. Congratulations. And so I feel that this has been around relationships, that you have had to deal with the brunt of some relationships. And I say that because underneath we have these Two of Cups, the unicorn. Okay? This was you needing to learn how to love yourself. I feel like you sought love from others and they took that for granted, where you found yourself mistreated or you received a distorted understanding of what you thought love equated to, and you found yourself doing so much to get it that was the wrong understanding for you, that only took for you and never took from you and never was a process that allowed reciprocation. And you had to learn how to love yourself first, because you see there's only this one person here. And so following behind that, you got the Seven of Cups. This is you learning how to make decisions and choices, looking at your options and choosing you. Realizing that the option is you. You are your choice. Okay? And healing, because there's a star underneath that as well. And so also I feel, because underneath this, there was also the Page of Cups. And with the Page of Cups, this is you focusing on your own healing. This is you being creative. This is you pouring back into yourself, okay, with this Page of Cups energy. Now, it's also possible that some sort of news or message could have come in that you were dealing with, and that news or message put you in a place where, you know, you had to tap into your intuition, because we do have the Queen of Cups here. And you had to decide where you came to the understanding that you're going to do what makes you happy and what's best for you in this situation. And that was part of your healing with this Page of Cups, is whatever news that came in, you decided to focus on doing what give you harmony or emotional balance by what you could have been confronted with the bear, but take control and have strength. And your solution was going to be, what in this is going to make me happy? What creative action is going to give me the emotional satisfaction for me? And even here you have the star. You could have been dealing with an Aquarius or have this energy in your chart. So what's coming towards you, Taurus, as a result of you having clarity, as a result of you cutting away the bullshit and the people that no longer serve you. You may even be checking people in a nice, but in a way that has them checked, but puts you in a place where you honor you and you have dominion with that Two of Wands. But they may not like it, but they gotta respect it, because for them you coming out of character. But what they don't understand is that you are coming into character. You coming into who you truly are. And so what's coming towards you is this Hangman. This here is a major kind of water energy. And so with the Hangman here, this is you being able to see things from a different perspective. Again, it brings me back to the red. And with the red, this is back to the root chakra. This is about you focusing on your own safety, your own security, your own self-preservation. You doing things that don't cause you to have anxiety or to feel ungrounded. This is you with the Hangman focusing on having wisdom, being able to consider things and knowing that, you don't have to sacrifice yourself, and you don't always have to surrender to shit where you find yourself at a loss or find yourself stuck or you experiencing delays behind other people, or as a result of you being in relationships. And that is okay for you to have love for yourself, because I don't feel like this is about you just, oh, it's just about me and fuck everybody. No, this is about you needing to carve out a space for yourself with people and circumstances where that consideration wasn't had for you. And when you come up to matters where there's a certain person, a certain situation that you found yourself feeling powerless, or you didn't feel in control, or you felt controlled, and because you gave your power up, or maybe you didn't have the wisdom, the knowledge, and you were mistreated, or you found yourself, where people were getting over on you. You are now the person that's showing up, taking control, standing in your power, in your strength, and in your authority, and because you have gained wisdom, enlightenment, and you have gained the truth. And the truth is that you get to stand in your power, that you have that courage, that you are resilient, that you are strong. Okay? And so you're not taking that shit no more. And as a result, how you handle things that come towards you is you're the king of coins now. This is you. This is how you handle what's coming towards you. It's the king of coins. And so with the king of coins, you have the Midas touch now. Whatever you touch, you manifest, you can create. So with this king of coins here, Taurus, this is you being able to manage your circumstances and situations. This is you being able to create what you want in your world and be successful at doing so. Whether this is around your money, around work, around relationships, um, around your plans, around your decisions, whatever solutions that are needed. You are now capable of figuring out how to secure what you need or coming up with the answer, because you have the strength and you have the power and the authority, and you know how to figure it out. You know how to confront it. You know how to address it. You know how to deal with it. And you know how to take the practical, responsible, mature approaches that'll lead you to the success that you are trying to see happen for yourself and get the results you're looking for. You are the king of coins. And so your likely outcome here in this Taurus is you do have the Eight of Cups. And so this is you being able to move on from all those motherfuckers that no longer served you, where you were having emotional unfulfillment, the situations that you weren't happy with. This is you being able to move on and find your happy in the situations, in the relationships, and in the circumstances where before you did not know how to do that and you just put up with that shit and deal with it. You're moving on from that. This is you moving on and having your emotional fulfillment and not being unfulfilled anymore. So this is fantastic, Taurus. So let's take a look at a guidance card for you, Taurus, in your week ahead. Spirit, what is a guidance card for the sign of Taurus? June 10 to June 16, 2019. This is fantastic, Taurus. I'm so proud of you. This is cool. Okay. All right. Hummingbird spirit, be here now. Be here now. This is your guidance. Be here now. So let's take a look at what that's talking about. To get a little more information on that, I'm just going to read that from the book for you, Taurus. It says the hummingbird wings beat so swiftly it can hover in seeming stillness as it drinks deeply from a flower. Hummingbird spirit comes to remind you that the beauty and sweetness of life is in the eternal now, the timeless present, here and now. You are becoming the person you wish to be, to have the experiences you wish to have. Focus your energy on the flower before you, for what you desire is being provided. Yes, there are blossoms everywhere. The choices can be dazzling. Hummingbird spirit message is that you have no need to go about in search of something better, for all that you require and desire is before you. You will know this as you become still, feeling your connection to spirit, who loves you unconditionally and will always provide for you. Be here and now, because you are becoming the person you wish to be, to have the experiences that you wish to have, Taurus, because you are standing and operating in your power. Wonderful. Congratulations. Yes. I hope these messages help. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching. Bye.